Hello and welcome to Kim's Cozy Corner. My name is Kim and we are going to harvest lettuce today from our indoor grow space. Hi everyone, we are back at it again and it's been honestly almost a week since I did my indoor update and we need to harvest some things. And Mom's home from her respite and she wants a nice salad. And I have this amazing lettuce that I'm going to harvest today and maybe some peppers so we can create that wonderful salad for Mom today. And so, yes, we are in our indoor grow space. This is a grow tent. It is a 4x8 grow tent. And this is an upgrade from my 5x5 grow tent, but I love both. I have a little more room. I can sit inside the grow tent and do a little more work. So if you're interested in a grow tent, the links will be below. I'm not an affiliate or anything like that. I just like what I like. And so we are going to harvest right now. Y'all look at this amazing lettuce. It is absolutely amazing. And we're going to harvest today. And I'm going to go ahead and plant more lettuce while I'm at it. But let's start with harvesting. I got my little harvest bowl here. I'm going to sit it right up here in the top. And we are going to start harvesting. Oh, this is beautiful. Oh my God, this is so pretty. But since I'm harvesting, I need to keep the harvest coming all winter long. So once I harvest this, it's going to be a minute before I can harvest again. So we will go ahead and start some more transplants. We will put the next tier on our GreenStalk for that. So we will start by harvesting this right here. This is, yep, sure. I think this is slow bolt. And this is going to be cut and come again. So this is only, I think it's only one plant. Let me see. Looks like there might be two plants in here, but we're going to cut it, leaving a good inch or so, maybe 2 inches. You see, I left just a little bit in the bottom there, and it will start growing again. But look at it. Oh, wow. It smells amazing. So that's slow boat. This is butter crunch. I'm going to let it grow. No, it's not. This is Gustav. This is Gustav. I'm going to let it grow just a little longer. And we're going to get a nice head here. So we won't harvest Gustav. Isn't it beautiful though? Look at that. Gustav is looking amazing. All right, we're going to keep coming around here. This is Merlot. And usually Merlot has more reds, but I think it has to do with the type of lights that I have, but smells amazing. So there's the Merlot, and there are two plants in here. There's one on this side, and then there's a small one over here. Now this one will take off now that it's not being shaded out by the other one. I've already picked slow bolt. So what is this? If that's slow bolt, then that's butter crunch. And yeah, I don't remember, y'all. I don't know what it is, but I only got one plant here. We're going to pick it. It's lettuce. I know that much. Now this is Cimarron, and I know this is Cimarron. It's a beautiful plant. I'm only going to I'm going to harvest half of it. Look at that Cimarron. Beautiful. Very different smell. The taste is amazing. And I'm going to let this one grow because it's not that large. I had two Cimarron plants in there growing together. And this, I believe, is butter crunch. Do I want to pick that? I'm going to go ahead and pick it. I wasn't going to, but I am going to pick it. Butter crunch. Look at that, y'all. Look at that bowl of lettuce. Just gorgeous lettuce growing in here. Look at this. Beautiful lettuce that we can enjoy all week long. And I need to put something with it. I see peppers. So let's harvest a couple peppers that we can cut to go with the lettuce. Okay, this right here is a Jimmy Nardello pepper plant growing in my indoor grow space in my GreenStalk. So we're going to pick this Jimmy. My plants are still doing quite amazing. See how a couple of the rows are doing. Here's a green one. I won't pick that one. This one here has been ready a long time. This teeny little bell here. Get that one harvested. I got blooms like crazy, blooms for days. There's a little purple bell. I mean, I got to show you these blooms. Like this one plant has like blooms for days and days and more days. Blooms are like crazy. Little purple bell peppers are growing all over the place. So this is going to be amazing. This one here. And I know I have more in here. Let's go the other way. There's a beautiful green pepper right there. I'm going to let it turn red though. This is either a giant Marconi or I believe it's a giant Marconi, honestly. Those are little snacking peppers. That's looking good. Blooms everywhere, y'all. Blooms and blooms and more blooms. My GreenStalk is doing amazing. But we did pick a few peppers. There's a few more at the top. We're going to let those go ahead and turn whatever beautiful color they need to turn. Because of variety, I have to turn one way and then turn back the other. Because this right here, this is huge. And I didn't pull the GreenStalk out far enough to let that go all the way around without damaging the plant. So I go one way and then I turn around and I come back the other way. But y'all, it looks good. It looks good. All kinds of peppers. There's so many green peppers on here. When they start turning, they're going to be amazing. But that's the harvest. Let's look at it. There it is. There's the lettuce. There's my 3 little peppers. I could have picked more, but I want them to turn the reds or the purples or the orange or the yellow, whatever it is. So this is the harvest for today. But we're not done. We're not done. We're going to now add the next tier to the GreenStalk so we can keep the harvest going and increase the harvest for this winter season. So let's get that set up next. So we are going to focus on adding our micro dwarf tomatoes in today. We have Red Robin. Let me turn it this way. We have Red Robin, Micro Tom, and Orange Hat. And I already have blooms on one of these, so we need to get those in. We're going to add a few more lettuce plants. And so for this next tier, and these are GreenStalks, links to anything dealing with GreenStalk will be below. But this next tier is going to be a combination of tomatoes and lettuce. So we are going to keep it coming. We got to keep that salad mixture going. So the first thing I need to do is prep this GreenStalk for the next layer. And we're going to start by taking the top off, this piece here. And we're going to add another layer. So let's go get the next layer and get that added. Now that the top is off, I need to put in my watering disc because you need a watering disc in between each layer. So we got the watering disc on. Now we're going to add the next tier. When adding the next tier, it's going to be opposite, right? So the pocket comes up in between the next two and it should fall right in place. I just need to make sure that I don't have any of my lettuce plants pinched, and it's in. The next thing I need to do is add the plants. So let me get my gloves on and we'll talk about this top tier. All right, so we got the next tier on, and this goes on next, and this is the top watering tier. But I don't want to put that on until I put my plants in, just to give me room to work. So the soil that I have in here, so this tier came in from outside, and I do run the risk of pest when I bring something in from outside. So far, the only issue I've seen are fungus gnats, and we're dealing with them with spray. I have neem oil and some other fungus gnat spray. I have mosquito bits for the bottom of anywhere where I'm catching water. And so that's helping. But again, the fungus gnats are not overwhelming yet. And I don't want it to get that bad. So we're trying to manage them now. But in addition to the soil that was already in here, which would have been a happy frog soil, I've added some land and seed compost, and I've added, what else did I add? I've added granular fertilizer, which is Dr. Earth, and I needed a little more soil. I couldn't put my hands on any more happy frog, so this is Miracle Grow moisture control added to the top just to fill this tier up. So that's what I have. And now we're going to add all of our little seedlings. I also put my hand on some Mykos. So when I am starting transplants, I really like to use Mykos. And Mykos helps the roots really like take off, right? So it's mycorrhizal inoculant. And so I add that when I'm adding transplants. So we are going to put both of these plants, both of these red robin are going to go right here. Both of them are going to go in this pocket. And I already have granular fertilizer mixed in. I already have compost mixed in. And in my GreenStalks, I only use potting mix. So we're going to add some of the mycorrhizal to that pocket. And then we're going to add these micro dwarf tomatoes to this pocket. And here's a picture of red robin if you're not sure what red robin looks like. So I will provide a picture for you. But doesn't that look good? Look at that. Look at that root structure. Look at that. So we'll get red robin in here. And I'm adding both. It's a micro dwarf tomato. And tomatoes, you want to plant them deep. Micro dwarf, they only get to about a foot tall. And these are all cherry style tomatoes. They're perfect for my GreenStalk. So there's the red robin. Put our mycorrhizal in. And it just takes just a little bit. Some people sprinkle it right on the roots. I don't. I sprinkle it in the pocket. There's my orange hat. Here's a picture of orange hat as well. Orange hat is in. And now we will add the micro tom. Here's a picture of the micro tom as well. Y'all, we got to keep that harvest coming. And I don't want to buy that stuff that tastes horrible from the grocery store. The micro tom has a tomato on it already, y'all. It has blooms and a tomato. So now in the other 3 pockets, we're going to add some lettuce, y'all. Let's see what we're going to put in here. I have tons of green lettuce. So we are going to add 2 red lettuce and 1 green lettuce. So I started all of these from seeds. This is a Merlot, started from seed. And we're going to do another Cimarron, started from seeds. And I say let's do Buttercrunch. Buttercrunch is very tiny and it honestly needs to be repotted. So we're going to put Buttercrunch in here. So the Buttercrunch I never up potted, which I should have, but I didn't. And there's a lot of Buttercrunch in here. So we're going to have to switch up my plans here. I'm going to put 2 over here. I'm going to put the rest back in here and we will up pot it. And yes, I have thousands of seeds and I'm fighting over 2 or 3 little plants. We will up pot what we have. So that's Butter Crunch. And when you up pot, they start growing faster. So I mean, like, look how pretty this is. So we're going to put this Cimarron in here. And it's super happy. Look at that root structure. Super, super, super happy. Root structure, amazing. So let's dig a deep hole. Outside of tomato plants, you always want to put your plant back to the depth it already was. Tomato plants, you want to try to bury at least 2/3 of the plant and only leave a little bit out for tomato plants. But there's the Cimarron. And here's the Merlot going in right here. There's the Merlot. We're going to put our watering disc back on. When you buy GreenStalks, the original planter, with the 10-inch deep pockets, they come with 5 tiers. I'm short, and I prefer to only use 4 tiers on my planters. And so there are only 3 on here right now. We will up it to 4 in a few weeks. We'll add another tier. But for now, they're in. The next thing that we need to do is water. Now, when you're indoors in your indoor GreenStalks, watering is something you have to be very careful with. Now, water typically comes out the bottom of your GreenStalk. I have my GreenStalks about, what is that, about 3 to 4 inches up off of the floor. I put a tray down underneath the hoses. There it is, under the hoses there, so it can catch any runoff. And I'm mostly concerned about the top tier. When you're watering your GreenStalk, you have to water very slowly so that you don't overwater to the point where too much water is coming out the bottom. Now, I am only going to water just a little bit so that all the water is hitting this top pocket. I've already watered the rest of the GreenStalk, so it really doesn't need water right now. Getting my lights back in order so that it can shine on the peppers, as well as this GreenStalk here is taller, so I had to raise the lights. I've had people ask me questions about whether or not it's cost effective to run these lights in my indoor indoor grow space, in my grow tents. And yes, I have a ton of lights in here, but all of my lights are not on. I have a total of 12 lights in here, but I only have 4 lights on. 4, because I only need lights in certain areas. So I have 2 lights over this one. They're smaller lights, smaller or lower powered lights. I have a massive powered light over the peppers right here. And then I have a traditional shop light. It's no different than turning on a bedroom light over my seedlings. And that's it. So I haven't seen an increase in my electric bill yet. Now, when I am starting seedlings, when I have every light in my GreenStalk going for current harvest as well as starting seedlings, I do see a jump in my electrical bill. And that's typically in the spring when I'm almost ready to get the cool season crops out and the warm season crops are going and everything is just going full out. I do see an increase, but I offset that increase by selling my seedlings. So I have a yard sale or a seed sale or a seedling sale or a plant sale, whatever you want to call the thing, in the spring, late spring, before it's time for summer crops to go out. But I sell tomatoes and I sell peppers and I sell lettuce and I sell all of that kind of stuff. And the money I make back from that helps offset the electrical bill. It helps offset any fertilizers that I use, any seed starting mixes and that kind of stuff. And at the end of the day, I did not go to the grocery store. I didn't go to the grocery store to buy any of this stuff. So that means my grocery bill is also down, which helps offset the cost of the electricity. but no increase in my electrical bill except for the month of December because I got Christmas lights outside. I might have a little bump, but I really believe that's from the Christmas lights going, but not from the indoor grow tent. Another thing that you can do when you're watering your indoor GreenStalk, you can do a little pocket watering if you wish, like this. And that way you know the water is hitting where you need it to hit. And you can kind of control just how much water you're adding. A couple of ways to water when you're indoors. When you're outside, flood the top of this thing until you see it coming out the bottom. Do that a couple of times and you know you're good to go. But when you're indoors, you might have to do things just a little different. So that's it for today. We added a tier, we added some more lettuce, and we got the micro dwarf tomatoes started as well. So they'll be ready in about a month or so. And we harvested a lovely salad for us to enjoy this week. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel. I'm going to keep them coming. All winter long, all summer long, spring, fall, it doesn't matter the season, I'm going to be here for you. So until next time, and I hope there will be a next time that you hang out with me, Kim, at Kim's Cozy Corner. Talk to you soon. Bye.